Now, remember that a lot of people from different cultures at that time, different parts of the world and different cultures who were not Roman, were also forced to abide to the system because the Roman Empire controlled a large mass of land over countries, right? Different countries, that kind of thing, right? Now, this guy called Saint Valentine, right? I think he was a clergy at that time. So he's privately and secretly married people, and that was against the law. From 269 AD to 270 AD, until he was executed on the 14th of February, right, in 269 AD, right, 269 AD. He was then executed in jail, in prison, because of the fact that he married people, celebrated love. He dared to believe in love. He dared to go against the Roman Empire. That's where Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day actually comes from. From his martyrdom, he's being a martyr for love and choice and freedom of choice, freedom to love, freedom to get married at any age. Specifically at this time, for young men, they were not allowed to get married. Okay, so let's speak more about it right now. Valentine's Day, very celebrated across the globe, in every country, in every continent, for a specific reason, because it has a foundation, a deep collective foundation of freedom of choice, freedom to love and freedom to be loved. Marriage was controlled then at the time by the Roman authority. Okay, so he was imprisoned after doing that secretly, because at the end of the day, why would you deny people love? Why would you deny people love? Right, so he was then put in prison. Valentine's Day carries layers of meaning for us, both historically, both symbolic, and deeply spiritual, far beyond modern romance and commercialized love at this time, right? Where you have to buy a present and stuff like that, but it's more to this whole story of Valentine. So let's explore it more. When you peel back the layers, it reveals something very ancient about the human soul, the soul for longing for connection. Now, you as a young man in the second century, you are a youngster. You're not supposed to live freely because you belong to the Roman Empire. You're supposed to go and become a soldier and then serve the Roman Empire. And then after serving until you cannot serve anymore, maybe you're injured, maybe you're getting too old to serve as a soldier, then you're allowed to go live your life, right? So this guy, Saint Valentine, a clergy at the time, went against this concept, okay? And he was marrying people secretly. Now, this is the interesting history of what Valentine Day is and where it's coming from. Now, let's explore more the spiritual meaning of Valentine's Day. Spiritually, on a spiritual level, Valentine's Day represents union of the masculine and feminine energies, right? It also recognizes, or it's all about the union of the soul and the heart, union of self-love and loving yourself as well. Very important. Self-love and loving the other. So self-love and loving the other. So it's about that. It's not about just going to buy chocolates and roses, right? It's something much more deeper on a very spiritual level. Now, let's continue. Energetically, guys, it resonates with the heart chakra. So Valentine's Day energetically resonates with the heart chakra, which is quite interesting. Okay. Hi, and thank you for joining my live. Today we're talking about Valentine's Day, and happy Valentine's Day to you, my love. Hope you're doing well this day. So we're speaking more about the spiritual concepts around Valentine's Day, where it's coming from. And I said earlier on, it's coming from a guy called Saint Valentine. He was coined that name because of the fact that he was marrying people secretly and celebrating love. At the time in the second century, it was not allowed for young men to get married, to have a relationship, to be in love, because the emperor at that time believed that it actually stops him from being an effective, efficient soldier. So they kept that away, right? So there's this guy called Saint Valentine, a clergy at the time. He decided to basically marry people in the secretly, like those secret ceremonies at night, and stuff like that, right? To keep it a secret because it was illegal for him to do that at that specific time. Between the time of 269 AD, before the after the birth of Christ, and 270 AD, okay? So now remember that Christianity was not legal at this time. Christianity only became legal in the 4th century. Remember that Yeshua, aka Jesus, was there in the 1st century, and that was the time that the Roman Empire was very strong.